next guests are Steve and Karen Anderson, authors of the Bezos Letters, 14 Principles to Grow Your Business Like Amazon, a deconstruction of Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos' annual review letters to shareholders that show why, when, and how he takes risks and how that makes them successful. Steve, Karen, so nice to have you here today. Thank you so much.
It's a real pleasure being here with you.
Thank you. So we'll start off with, what are the Bezos Letters?
So Jeff Bezos, founder and current CEO of Amazon, started writing letters to shareholders in 1997, the first year Amazon went public. And he's written a letter to shareholders every year since, up until 2018.
Okay. So principle number 1 is encourage successful failure, which is interesting. So how does Amazon use this concept, successful failure?
Yeah, it is interesting, and that is one of the principles that seems to resonate with people, because you don't typically hear the word success and failure, right, in the same phrase. Well, Amazon is very intentional about how they create and develop new products and services for their customers. And so they experiment. And Bezos talks a lot about experimentation in his letters to shareholders. And by its very nature, an experiment means you're going to fail. Because if you don't fail with an experiment, it's not an experiment. And so Amazon practices that throughout their organization when they're looking at developing new things. So for example, Prime. There are probably a lot of you in the audience and a lot of you watching who are Prime members. Well, Prime actually went through several iterations before it became what you know as Prime today. And in fact, in those early years, it wasn't that successful, but they kept working on it, and they kept adding new things to Prime, which now has over 35 different services that you can access by being a Prime member. That's just one example. Another quick one,
Yeah, go ahead.
which I think is kind of fun. One of Amazon's biggest failures was their phone. Now, I haven't met too many people who actually remember that Amazon made a huge announcement. Jeff Bezos, kind of a la Steve Jobs, got up on the stage and announced the Fire Phone in 2014. Utter failure. In fact, they lowered the price a few months later to 99 cents, and they still couldn't sell any. Who needed a phone? We already had our own iPhones and our Android phones. That's the failure. In fact, they wrote off that into that year $178 million in development and inventory expense. However, here's the success. A few months after that announcement of the Fire Phone, Jeff Bezos saw the first demonstration of what we now know as Echo and Alexa. So they took what they learned in the phone, that failure, and they were able to translate it into what is appearing to be, 5 years ago now, it's actually this week is its 5th birthday, the Alexa devices that we, at least many of us, right, have available to answer our questions.
Fantastic. I use Alexa all the time. All the time. What was the biggest surprise reading the shareholder letters?
For me, the biggest surprise was the narrative. What do I mean by that? There are a lot of people who read individual letters and have written articles about them over the years. When I discovered the letters and then actually read through each of the 21 letters as a narrative, I was surprised at how much Bezos revealed of his secret plan, which wasn't so secret. Actually, I call it hidden in plain sight, for how he grew Amazon to what it is today. And that's where the idea of the principles came out, that I think any business, honestly, whether you like Amazon or not, there are principles there that any business can learn to grow their business better.
Fantastic. So Steve, Karen, when people want to get in touch with you, how can they?
Well, the best way is through our website, thebezosletters.com. And we've got, if you do buy the book, we've got some additional bonuses material to help you consume that book a little bit better. And also a free assessment. We call it the Risk and Growth Assessment to help you understand where you should start in the of the 14 principles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lots of we mentioned one,
Yes.
right? There's 13 others that are really good, but it'll help you get an idea where you should start in your business and where you are. And again, thebezosletters.com.
Wonderful. Congratulations on the book.
Thank you
for
so
your
much.
time today.
It's been a real
It's been a
pleasure.
pleasure. Thank you.